A horror story for English learners, A2 to B1 level. The Monster in the School Bathroom. Part 1. The Old School. Jake was 16 years old. He studied at an old high school in a small town. The school building was more than 70 years old. Many students believed the school was haunted. There were stories about strange noises in empty classrooms, mysterious footsteps in the hallways, and shadows moving where nobody should be. But there was one story that frightened students more than any other. The story of the bathroom monster. According to the legend, a creature lived inside the boys' bathroom on the 3rd floor. Nobody knew what it looked like, but students claimed they heard strange sounds coming from the last stall, especially after sunset. Jake never believed the story, until one rainy afternoon. Part 2. The Strange Sound. School ended later than usual because of a science project. Most students had already gone home. Only a few remained. Jake was finishing his work when he suddenly needed to use the bathroom. The closest bathroom was on the 3rd floor. The same bathroom from the legend. Jake laughed at himself. It's just a story. He walked upstairs. The hallway was empty. Rain tapped softly against the windows. When he entered the bathroom, everything seemed normal. There were 4 stalls, a row of sinks, and a large mirror. Jake walked toward the sinks. Then he heard something. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The sound came from inside the last stall. Jake froze. The stall door was closed.
Hello? No answer. The scratching stopped. Jake slowly approached the stall. His heart beat faster. Is someone in there? Silence. He pushed the stall door gently. Locked. Very funny. If someone was trying to scare him, it wasn't working. At least, that's what he told himself. Then he looked underneath the door. No feet, no shoes, nobody. Yet the stall was locked. A cold chill ran through his body. Jake immediately left the bathroom. Part 4. The Warning. The next morning, Jake told his friend Emma about what happened. Emma looked nervous. You went into that bathroom alone? Yes. Why? Emma lowered her voice. My brother told me something. Years ago, a janitor disappeared there. Disappeared? One evening, he entered the bathroom. He never came out. People searched the entire school. They never found him. Jake rolled his eyes. That's impossible. Emma shrugged. Maybe. But nobody likes using that bathroom. Especially after dark.
Part 5. The Reflection. A few days later, Jake stayed late again. This time, he wasn't scared. He wanted to prove the story was fake. At 6:30 p.m., he entered the third-floor bathroom. Everything was quiet. Jake looked into the mirror. For a moment, he saw something behind him. A dark figure, standing near the last stall. Jake spun around. Nobody was there. He looked back at the mirror. The figure was gone. Then the lights flickered. Once, twice, 3 times, and the scratching sound returned. Scratch, scratch, scratch. From inside the last stall. Part 6. What was inside? Jake slowly approached. His legs felt weak. The scratching became louder. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Then it suddenly stopped. The stall door slowly creaked open by itself. Jake stared into the darkness. The stall was empty, or so it seemed. Then he noticed something. Part 7. The School Records. The next day, Jake and Emma visited the school archives. They wanted answers. After searching through old documents, they found a newspaper article. The article was 30 years old. It described a maintenance worker named Robert Green. He had disappeared inside the school. The final witness claimed to hear screams coming from the third-floor bathroom. The police never solved the case. At the bottom of the article was a photograph. Jake stared at it. Behind Robert stood a strange shadow, a shape with long arms and glowing eyes. Emma swallowed nervously. Maybe the legend is true. Part 8. The monster appears. That evening, Jake returned one final time. He brought a flashlight and his phone. He wanted proof. The bathroom was empty. The air felt unusually cold. Suddenly, every stall door slammed shut. Bang! 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 The lights went out. Darkness filled the room. Jake switched on his flashlight. The beam shook in his trembling hand. Then he heard breathing. Heavy breathing. Very close. The flashlight revealed something crouching near the last stall. It was tall, thin. Its skin looked grey and wet. Its arms touched the floor, and its eyes glowed bright white. The monster slowly stood up. It was nearly twice Jake's height. Part 9. The Secret. The creature opened its mouth. A horrible sound echoed through the bathroom. Not a roar, not a growl. It sounded almost human. Then
Jake noticed something strange. Around the creature's neck hung an old employee badge. The name was still visible. Robert Green. Jake's eyes widened. The missing worker, somehow connected to the monster. Suddenly, memories returned from the documents. One note mentioned a chemical accident in the basement decades earlier. Perhaps Robert had not disappeared. Perhaps he had changed. The creature looked at Jake. Its expression seemed sad. Not angry, not evil. Sad. Then it slowly stepped backward, returning to the last stall.
Part 10. The Final Night. The next morning, workers began renovating the old bathroom. The third floor would finally be closed. Jake felt relieved. The nightmare was over. A week later, the entire bathroom was demolished. The last stall was removed. Behind it, workers discovered a hidden space inside the wall. Inside, they found old tools, an employee badge, and a faded photograph of Robert Green. Nothing else. No monster, no evidence, no answers.
Part 11. Final. Months passed. The strange sounds stopped. Students forgot about the legend. Life returned to normal. One evening, Jake stayed late after school. As he walked past the renovated hallway, he noticed something unusual. A message written on the wall. It had not been there before. 3 simple words. Thank you, Jake. He stared at the message. Slowly, a cold breeze passed through the hallway. And somewhere far away, he thought he heard a bathroom stall door quietly close. Click. Jake smiled. Perhaps the monster was gone. Or perhaps it had finally found peace.